But the bottom line is the polls are painful for Donald Trump. Joe Biden holds an 11-point advantage over President Trump nationally. According to the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, Biden now sits at 51%, up 2 points since last month. Trump's support slid to 40%, down 2. Biden has a significant advantage among Black, Latino voters between the ages of 18 to 34. Women and white voters with a college degree. Trump leads among white voters overall and white voters without a college degree. President Trump's overall job approval in this poll is only 42% approving, while 56% disapprove. On his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, 37% approve while 59% disapprove. And can you imagine what they're thinking in Florida right now? Precious Florida, which you need to win, is right now in the middle of an incredible surge of coronavirus cases. On his handling of race relations, 33% approve, while 63% disapprove. So we'll get to the latest Q poll in just a moment. Steve Kornacki joins us this morning. And Steve, I really wanted to talk to you about exactly what these polls mean at this time in the race. Because, of course, back in 2016, a lot happened between this time and voting day, although early voting starts in a matter of weeks. So what exactly do these polls mean? Obviously, they don't say exactly what's going to happen, but what can we garner from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple ways to look at it. Number one, look, you're right. There is time left here, and the world can change very quickly. We've seen that, just in the last couple months. So let's see, what the future holds. But to put this in some perspective, if you look at the last 3 presidents who were running for re-election, Obama in 2012, George W. Bush in 2004, Bill Clinton in 1996. I went back and looked yesterday. What was the NBC Wall Street Journal poll at this same time? Basically, middle of July, closest to this period. Each one of them had a slight lead, or in Clinton's case, a significant lead, but each one was leading at this point, and each one was re-elected. So Donald Trump is in a measurably different place than the last 3 presidents who were seeking re-election at this point. All of them won. All of them were ahead in the polls right now. Trump is not just down, he's down double digits in our poll, and he's not just down double digits in our poll. You've seen significant distance between Trump and Biden now in all national polls for a long time. So really, if you want to get a comparison right now to what Trump's numbers look like for a president running for re-election, the comparison that starts to jump out right now is George H.W. Bush. And that's 1992. And George H.W. Bush is the last president to run for re-election and lose. He's our last one-term president. And it was this point, middle of July 1992, when Bill Clinton zoomed ahead of George H.W. Bush in the polling. Bill Clinton had a big lead, and he never lost that lead. And he ousted George H.W. Bush. So right now, I look at Trump's numbers, and I'm seeing something that much more resembles Bush 92 than any of those 3 presidents after him who won a second term. Yes, still time left. The world can change, but I think it's significant that this large Biden lead has been in place for a while now. It has not moved for a fairly significant amount of time.
Steve, is there any one or two of those crosstabs inside the NBC Wall Street Journal poll that jumps out to you? I'm looking at women, for example, where Joe Biden has a 23-point lead on the president of the United States. Is there something in those numbers that tells you more than that top-line national referendum number?
Yeah, I guess the way to look at it is say, where is the movement here? If you look back at 2016, when, Trump was just able to get elected, where's the movement been that puts Biden in this position? And when you put that Trump advantage there among white voters, Trump is leading among white voters, but that's where the movement is. In our poll, Trump's lead is 7 points among white voters, 49 to 42. In 2016, Trump won the white vote by 20 points. So from a 20-point advantage, that's a large demographic, obviously. That's like 2/3, a little bit more of the electorate. So a 20-point advantage there in 2016 has been whittled down to 7 points for Donald Trump right now. And then if you look within the white vote, look, he leads, Trump does, among non-college whites without a college degree. That's been sort of his core base here. He still has a lead there. You see it on the screen, 57-35. But again, in 2016, That advantage for Trump with that demographic was like 40 points. So it's a big lead on paper, but it's not nearly as big as it was in 2016. And then you look at that white voters with a college degree, and that is just a huge shift where Biden now opens a 15-point advantage in our poll. That's a group that historically had been a Republican group. It had been moving toward the Democrats. There's some conflicting versions of what exactly happened in 16. It seemed a little competitive in 16. Now it's a blowout for Joe Biden, and that is consistent with what we've been talking about since 2018 in the midterms, where you saw one suburban area, one metro area after another around the country abandon Trump's Republican Party, side with the Democrats. And when you see movement among college-educated white voters, that's kind of what that's reflecting in some ways.
So let's look at the latest Quinnipiac University poll showing Joe Biden leading President Trump by 15 points nationally. Biden stands at 52%, up 3 points since last month. Trump at 37% has fallen 4 points since June. This Q poll has Trump's approval at 36%, down 6 points since last month. His disapproval is up 5 points, sitting at 60%. Joe Biden also leads President Trump on several key issues, including who voters trust to handle a crisis, 57% to 38%. Who can best handle health care, 58% to 35%. Handling the coronavirus response, 59 to 35%. And who can best handle racial inequality, 62 to 30%. And half of voters believe that Joe Biden would do a better job handling the economy than President Trump. 45% said they believe Trump could do a better job.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.